Have you ever wondered how the super rich and ultra wealthy individuals invest their money? Because while most people are saving, investing, like some of the videos I've also done here, we're saving in maybe sometimes low interest bank accounts and all that. See, doing mutual funds, all of those things are good, right? But the rich are multiplying their wealth using some strategies that I'm going to open your eyes to. These are some strategies that we never really hear about. And I brought you the whole tea in this video. I'm going to mention 7 secrets of their investments that we can implement because I'm already on my way as well doing same. And I'm going to be breaking it down. 7 powerful investment strategies that millionaires use to turn into billionaires and how they stay rich. Also, I'm going to be telling you how you can apply them before the end of the video, so you should look out for that. Stay to the end for this game-changing wealth secret, okay? Let's get started. The first way that the ultra-wealthy individuals preserve their wealth and become even more wealthy is they invest in private equity and venture capitals. Now, what does this mean? Now, while most people invest in like public stocks, shares, these ultra wealthy people buy pieces of private companies before those companies become really big and go public. You get what I mean? So they buy them at the infant stages, invest in them, and then gain a lot by the time they go public. This is how most early investors in companies like Uber, in Airbnb and SpaceX and the rest, that was how they made it. That was how they made their millions, guys. So they invest in these companies. And how, you ask me, how does it work? Now, these wealthy investors will put their money in these early stage startups that they have seen as prospect. Of course, you must have prospect before they can buy your company, okay? In case you're thinking of selling to them. They buy at a very low valuation before the companies explode in value. Then once the company goes public or gets acquired, they now cash out like 10 times or 100 times in returns. You get what I mean? Because the money they push into this company to make the company become big, huge, and all that. You get what I mean? Can you invest in this? If yes, there are platforms like international platforms that are Angel List and some equity crowdfunding platforms you can check out. They can allow you, like everyday investors to buy shares in startups before they IPO. You know what I mean? So go ahead and check it out, and you're going to be on your way to doing exactly what the Uber rich are doing. Number two, do you know that people who are billionaires and are even super billionaires invest in real estate a lot, but not any kind of real estate? I mean, even just building a bungalow or whatever is real estate, but that's not the kind of houses that they invest in. Calm down, let me tell you, give you all the tea, right, guys? They invest in luxury and offshore properties. Yeah, you see why I said that these are the kind of investment we don't really think about, we're not really hearing about. Okay, now these very wealthy people, they buy high value properties in tax friendly locations. They know because their investments are managed by experts, so they know where tax friendly locations are, and they can invest in all these high value properties. I mean, think of places like Monaco, like Switzerland, places with low taxes and yet high appreciation. They buy properties there. Then they rent them out, or sometimes they can flip them, or sometimes they can hold them for a long term. Then they gain in the long term. You know what I mean? Now, the secret tip I'll give you on this point is that they use real estate. The rich usually use real estate as a wealth preservation tool. Because see, if there are any group of people, like you must know, that don't ever want to go back to poverty or brokenness, it's actually the rich, it's actually the billionaires, right? People think that everyday people want to become rich and they don't want to get out of poverty. Yes, but the rich are even more invested in becoming richer. And real estate is one avenue they use to preserve their wealth. So they pack millions in assets that appreciate over time, because real estate is surely does that. So when you want to get started, research real estate investment trusts, for passive real estate investing, and find out how it works before you put in your money. Okay. Now, other alternative investment that they also do. Number 3 is hedge funds. Hedge funds that have very high returns and also are managed as investments. What's the hedge fund? You may be asking me. Hedge fund is a privately managed investment pool that uses complex strategies like derivatives, leverage, arbitrage, and I know you hear this in a lot. They use it to generate high returns. Unlike mutual funds, hedge funds are only available to accredited investors. Right, when I did this video, you can go check it out. When I did this video about mutual funds, we talked about how to go about it and how it's easy to also leverage. But these ones, you must be an accredited investor before you can take advantage of a hedge fund. Especially, it requires millions in net worth before you can even be part of the accredited investor. So that's just the difference. Why do the uber wealthy invest in wealth funds? First of all, hedge funds have very high returns. Because they are designed to outperform the usual stock market, by active management. People sit down and make sure that it doesn't fail. Also, they mitigate the risk. So you losing your money and all that is not really, 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 what happens with hedge funds. They use techniques like short selling, like derivatives, like I mentioned before, to profit. Even when the market has downtimes, they make profit, right? Also, they have exclusive access. Most hedge funds that are available require a minimum of like $500,000. Yeah, that's the minimum, till about $5 million. And that makes the investment package elite and all that. So the tools and the vehicles for that is very elite. Examples of some top hedge funds that are very known are Bridgewater's Associates, by Ray Dalio, and then that particular one focuses on macroeconomic trends. Also, there's this one called Renaissance Technologies. It uses AI, interestingly, and quantitative analysis. Then there's also Citadel by Ken Griffin. Yeah, one of the most successful hedge funds globally is this Citadel. So just go research, do your findings, get to know what all of these things I'm saying are about. Now, let me give you a strategy here. These uber wealthy people, they allocate like 10 to 20% of their portfolios to hedge funds, so that they get investment that is stable and high yield growth. 10 to 20%, so that you don't go and take 50% of your income or 100% of your income and put into. Of course, by now you should know you should have various portfolios. You shouldn't put your eggs in one basket. Okay. Number 4 alternative investment that the uber rich also invested is gold and commodities. Gold and commodities are like a hedge against inflation. So what is it? That is about the purchase of gold, even oil like crude oil, silver, and other commodities that are tangible assets, that so they can maintain their value regardless of what the stock market is doing. Yes, those are one thing that they invest in. Why do they buy gold and all these commodities? Because of inflation. Protect themselves against inflation. What am I saying? Inflation. Protect themselves against inflation. Inflation. Why is it important to buy gold and all these commodities? That you protect yourself against inflation. So gold and precious metals like and crude oil and all that, they retain their value even during economic crisis. Also, your portfolio is also diversified. I mean, you have more options. So these commodities, they don't really match or they don't relate to your normal stocks and all that. So it provides you a safety net, so that they're just like another part of your portfolio that is not related to stock, and nothing's going to happen to them as long as your stocks are doing its own, but these ones are stable, right? Also, crisis hedge. Of course, when there are times of war or recession or like all of those stay-at-home time, COVID and all that, the currency just collapses. Like it collapsed in my country between 2022 and 2025. My country, Nigeria, our currency have seen a lot. Okay, and in spite of all of those things, gold always outperforms most of these investments, so it's a good way to invest also. Examples of how the rich invest in gold is typical physical gold and silver that they store up in vaults. They can save in banks and all that, like the Swiss gold reserves. You hear about that, right? Also, they trade gold ETFs, like SPDR, Gold Trust, GLD, all of that. Please go make your research. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just bringing information as a content creator. You go do your job and find out whether what I'm saying is BS or is for real and implement. That's my own. Also, they invest in oil and gas. You must know. I mean, oil wells and oil blocks, right? And these are assets that they get in touch or they get through their private equity fundings and all of that, right? Of course, this one is very, for my country that is an oil-rich country, this one is not like never heard. It's very popular. You hear it a lot. People having oil wells and that. Let me give you one strategy on this point. Billionaires like Warren Buffett. I remember we were talking about him some days ago about how he used to be like the wealthiest man sometime. Now we're in a new era of AI and the rest, and Elon Musk is like in our faces, right? But then people like him and Ray Dalio, they recommended that when you want to do gold investment and commodities, you should invest like 5 to 10% of your portfolio in them, so that you can hedge your wealth against any sort of risk. They are tangible, they never come down, they are always on the rise. Another kind of investment that the uber rich or the ultra rich invest in is art and collectibles. I know you must have heard this thing. It looks like art, but see, it's not the kind of art you're thinking about. I'm talking about rare wristwatches. Yes, art also, like all of those Mona Lisa kind of art. I remember this Nigerian minister that died, this woman, Akuyili's daughter, one of her daughters sold an art that went into billions of naira. I remember like a few years ago. Those are the kind of art that the rich invest in. Of course, it's a rich person that would have bought that kind of art in billions. You know what I mean? So, and also luxury goods. So they buy these things and save them. right? Because these are things that always appreciate. You can't bring out your art or your collectible or like your vintage cars or like all these rare wristwatches and somebody will be pricing it low. Never. It always goes up. So they are tangible. So they appreciate all the time and increase in value over time. Why do they invest in this and why should you? I mean, it's a no-brainer. The value always increases. It appreciates, right? Some paintings and rare items increase in value by like 500 to 1,000% over decades. It is that much. Also, it's also a source of preserving wealth. Unlike stocks, art is not directly affected by any economic downtime at all. You can always safekeep it and make sure that you can flip it anytime you want. Also, tax-free wealth transfer. If there are any group of people who avoid tax like they need to save their life is the overreach, right? In some jurisdictions, art can be used to transfer wealth with minimal taxes, so nobody will be looking at, oh, this and that, this and that. So the people don't think that's common art, but meanwhile, a huge wealth transfer has been done. Yes. Examples of for some high value collectibles are like fine art, of course, fine art like Picasso drawings, Banksy, Warhol paintings, those kind of levels of art. And I know that in my country, artistic there are a lot of artistic talent. I think we have it all in Nigeria. Like Nigerians are super excitingly creative. Let me put it like that. My husband is the one. My husband is such an artist, right? Now, also luxury watches like Rolex. I think that one is like the most popular in Nigeria. I don't know how to say it. Rolex, Daytona, Patek Philippe, Nautilus. Some watches appreciate also over like 200 to 500% in decades. Wristwatches though. So I don't know what are you thinking what I'm thinking? Even some jewelries, necklaces, I mean. Also, think about vintage cars. The Ferrari 250 GT or so. Those are the kind of cars that people preserve. Bugatti, also Bugatti like Type 57. Some people sell it for as much as $20 million at auctions. Not a joke. $20 million plus. In fact, like in the list during auctions. So, oh my God, you don't want to play with these things, guys. Listen up. I hope you're getting your notes are full. How do billionaires invest in these kind of things? Many of them buy and store art in free ports. That a free port means tax-free, storage zones. Very important. I remember the first time I started knowing about tax-free zones, or in Nigeria we call it tax. eh? I was always wondering that what does this mean? I remember a friend of mine or a big friend of mine who schooled me in that because he worked in an agency that does that. And I started understanding all of this, Then also they invest in NFTs, that is digital art ownership, owning art digitally, right? Crypto billionaires are leveraging NFTs to buy like digital collectible, money that is not physical, passing hands and wealth transfers happening on the metaverse in that sense. Crypto, guys, one thing I will tell you that the investment in the art market alone is now valued at $1.3 trillion. When I got this figure, I was like, wait, I'm going to make sure that my husband begins to draw and take it seriously, like take his art seriously, because what in my omo is $1.3 trillion art collections alone. And they said that the billionaires like Jeff Bezos, Steve Cohen, they allocate 5 to 15% of their net worth just to get those luxury assets. Can you believe it? So you can tap. Oh my God. I know what you're thinking. It's also what I'm thinking. Let's leave it there, but take note. Please make sure. Anyway, we'll talk about how we can leverage it at the end, right? Then the sixth investment that the uber rich or the ultra, I'm always saying uber rich, but you know what I mean, ultra rich. Now, I don't mean billionaires in, people who just hit 1 billion naira or $1 billion. No, the ultra rich, those are people I'm talking about. These are things they do. The type of investment that they do is cryptocurrency and blockchain. Of course, you already know. Smart money in Web3 is not a joke. Is that a joke to you? Cryptocurrency, I remember the day that Donald Trump finally was sworn in just a few days ago, how the official Trump coin was like buzzing. Even me, I went to my Binance and I'm like, what? I mean, I'm new to these things too, right? Like you too. But anyway, I was just like, I don't know where I've been overlooking this thing, but not anymore. Okay. Cryptocurrency and blockchain technology represent like a group of digital assets that operate outside your traditional banking systems. I like the way it's just on its own. Bank has got nothing on it. Did I even tell you this week alone? Today is Saturday. So this week I earned my first money on Binance. It was paid USDT. And I'm like, what the T? And I have to go research. Guys. And do you know what gave me the money? I took some kind of pictures. I'm not going to give you guys if you want the video for me to tell you about that, how I'm doing this investment, let me know in the comment section. Okay, if you comment, I'll do a video about it. But for now, just know that I'm taking pictures and I'm beginning to earn in USDT on my Binance. So cryptocurrency is not a joke to anybody. Why does the wealthy invest in crypto and blockchain? It has high return on investments. Yeah. The potentials are a lot. Yes, it keeps going up and down. So some people don't like risk. And the people that don't like risk are usually people that don't have money. And I don't blame them, right? Because if you carry money that you're supposed to use chop, like money that you're supposed to use to feed, if feeding is your problem, is you're the level of trying to feed, I get it. This is might just look like, I mean, it's not for me. I get it. But cheap money gang, so leveling up on our money game, and these are things we must pay attention to. And as you're growing your wealth, you must know that you have options to diversify your income, and that's why I'm bringing you all of this information. Bitcoin alone has grown like over 1 million% since 2010. Guys, whenever I go to look at BTC, I'm like looking at it like this. It is the crypto, it is the blockchain of the blockchain. Yes. Now, also, where do they invest? You decentralize your wealth so that you never get poor. If one place fails, at least the other ones are holding up. There's no government controlling it. Freedom from inflation. I have a relative or an in-law. He's just about 24. This guy made money with crypto, settled his family, settled his struggling mom who had been raising him as a single mom. I'm so happy for them. Like, when I think about this, I'm like, wait, I cannot be sleeping on a moving bike when it comes to this crypto thing, guys. And also, whether there is political, whatever, politics does not affect cryptocurrency. Whether there's war or not does not affect cryptocurrency. So why not? Also, why do they invest? Web3 and blockchain innovations are always concurrent, are moving up, are becoming the new normal. So the rich, of course, they are smart people. You have to be smart to be rich. They know that this is where the world is going to. This is where money is going to. This is the future of money. And they are cashing in early, right? And they are the ones, these billionaires are the ones backing AI. I hope you know. Yes, yes, yes. I said it. They're the ones backing AI. They're the ones making all the smart contracts and doing DeFi. Let me put it like that. Decentralized finance. I mean, think Elon Musk. With the picture in my head is just Elon Musk and his robots. And when Valentine is coming, I'm seeing a lot of Elon Musk kissing robots. It doesn't mean that we're also going to be dealing with robot lovers very soon. Anyway, but that's beside the point, but you know what I mean. Now, how does the rich invest in crypto? Bitcoin, for instance, is digital gold. Is the digital gold of the crypto world. So they buy BTS, that's Bitcoin. Ethereum is another one, ETH. They use it for smart contracts, for NFTs and all that. Also, VC funds in crypto startups, they invest in startups. Investing in blockchain-based businesses like OpenSea and Solana. Solana is so hot to me. It just Anyway, guys, go make your investments and make a decision. Now, some of the notable investors in crypto, of course, Elon Musk, number one, I was mentioning him, and he's here on my notes. He bought $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin in 2021. $1.5 billion worth. Also, Michael Saylor, the MicroStrategy, he holds over $6 billion in Bitcoin as well. There's, of course, Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban invested in Ethereum, and DeFi projects, and even NFTs. One tip for you is that many of these high network investors allocate like 1 to 10% of their portfolios into crypto for high risk, high reward growth. If you can't take risk, you can make big money, incidentally. And the seventh, but of course not the least, is business acquisition. These people buy profitable companies, so they can earn passive income. Yes. Instead of starting new companies, simple. The ultra rich, they buy existing profitable businesses to generate cash flow and, of course, equity growth. Then why do they do it? Why do they go through the route, employ people, invest money, and not fear that they will fail? Because they will get instant cash flow as they come in. They already see that this business has prospects. They've already seen the market share. They've already done that visibility. They know where the money is going. So they know that instantly, immediately they pump in money here, they're going to start getting returns. So they acquire these businesses and get immediate revenue. Also, they have seen that there are no risky startups. There's no need for risky startups. They have proven success, so they don't have to start from scratch. This business is already running, it's already profitable, just that it's playing small. So they come in and buy them up with their existing customers, with their profits. Everybody becomes, you've seen this a lot happen, even Facebook and all that. They buy up and all that. And also, they benefit from tax. Business owners pay less tax than employers and investors. This one became very obvious in my country just recently when we started knowing that, it's better to register a limited liability because the government has now realized that, people who own businesses are supposed to pay less tax. You don't even pay tax until you make some certain kind of profit and all that. If you want me to do a video on all of that also, let me know in the comment section, okay? Examples of how the rich buy businesses. How do they start? In case you have a business that you're interested in like Elon Musk buying. I'm joking, but you know what I mean. They look at they pull in funds, billionaires pull in funds and then buy these companies and scale these businesses. Example like Blackstone, like KKR, it's called private equity funds, firms, right? They also acquire, instead of launching like a new startup, like I said, they instead acquire businesses that already have cash flow, like I was explaining. Then they can buy like a profitable e-commerce store, like a software as a service company, or buy franchises, yes, of companies that are already doing well. Okay, they also leverage buyouts. Yes, they leverage buyouts, what they call LBOs. So they leverage buyouts using other people's money, OPM. Have you heard about that? OPM, other people's money. The rich know how to use other people's money to leverage their wealth. So they buy businesses without their own capital. They use other people's money to buy it. That's why they go for loans and stuff. You know what I mean? All right. Some of the billionaires that you know that have used this strategy of buying up companies, of course, Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett has this Berkshire Hathaway, his real estate and all that, does that. Elon Musk, of course. Jeff Bezos, yeah, Jeff Bezos. I don't only know how to call his name straight up. So Jeff Bezos also, buys from anybody that wants to compete against Amazon. He buys the company off and adds them and pay you off straight up. They don't play. These guys don't play, right? So one of the strategies I'll give you here is that business acquisitions are one of the fastest paths to generational wealth because they create passive income streams. While all of these investment routes that I have shared is typically known for, like things that the ultra rich invest in, or platforms or routes that they use to increase their wealth, it is also something we can leverage. We that are not ultra rich, we can leverage right now because companies like fintech. I mean, I use Piggyverse, I use Rem Money. I know how you can buy real estate from Piggyverse. You can invest in all sorts of companies there. So companies like fintech and some other new platforms are making some of these kind of investments accessible to everyday investors like you and I. Yeah, so that's where you come in. So let me tell you how we can get started. Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay, so this is what we can do. Number one, we can begin to leverage hedge funds and private equity by going to look at the angel list, look at how we can invest on those platforms. Angel list, yield street is another one. Also look at Piggyverse. Look at research, make a research for platforms where hedge funds and private equities can be accessible, can become investment opportunities for you. Okay. Also, gold and commodities. Gold has always been there. Interestingly, I served in Sokoto State in Nigeria, and I remember that Sokoto has a lot of gold. And we, as core members that time, we used to buy gold and say, "Oh, we are going to invest." And I kept saying, "I'll go back to Sokoto and buy and all that." But how many years down the line, I never went. So this opened my eyes a lot to something I have always known, but I have overlooked. So please buy fractional shares of gold. You can even buy through ETFs and all that, like GLDs, SLV, and you can never tell. You can resell, and then you become a multi-billionaire, in quadruples. Also, when it comes to arts and collectibles, now you can't overlook arts. You can't. In fact, you can never see any ultra rich, wealthy company or firm or office or house where there are no artworks. Those kind of artworks that make you stop and look around is intentional. Can you see? It's intentional. So also look at the platform masterworks.io. Look at masterworks.io. You're going to see the kind of art that I made. Go check it out. And please, if you're an artist, I beg you in the name of God, don't take your art for granted. You can sell them on website. You can sell them as NFTs. Digital art is a thing now, and people are collecting it. So please don't sleep on this. Also, crypto is accessible to you. Download the Binance app right now. Set it up, and please start trading. People can also pay you there. You can trade. You can sell. Just go familiarize yourself with those platforms. I would recommend Binance because with Binance you can buy Bitcoin, you can buy Ether, you can buy any of them. It's one platform that I trust, I have and I use, and I encourage you to do that. You can diversify your income there. You can buy Bitcoin. Why not? I think Bitcoin is about $100 and something thousand dollars for one now, as out 2 days ago or so. Go check it out. Buy Ethereum. You can buy Web3 projects. There are a lot of them. I have told you about mine. Don't sleep on this. Also, business acquisitions. There's a friend of mine who just started a private equity company. I was looking at him and I'm like, this guy is very smart. He's going to invest in small companies in Nigeria, even if they are frying akara and all that. He's doing such a good thing. He just registered this company that does this, and I think it's a way to go, guys. Look for companies you can invest in, you can buy off that are profitable, and then grow them. But of course, it must be that you're making profit already from what you're doing. All right. So if not so profitable to buy, keep it in view and make sure you get this going. Look at platforms like Micro Acquire, Flipper. There are some global platforms you can check out. Which of these investments platforms or routes are you thinking about using? Drop a comment, let me know. This is how the ultra rich invest their money. Which of these do you think is the smartest? And you think is like your lowest hanging fruit that you're going to implement? Drop a comment. If you want to start investing like the rich, subscribe to this channel right now so that you don't miss any more videos as I guide you towards it. As I'm learning, I'm teaching. I'll see you again in my next one. Bye.